Somewhere in Mexico's remote wilderness, the world's most dangerous and wanted drug lord is hiding. If someone you love dies from an overdose tonight, he may be to blame. He's called El Mencho. Led by drug lord El Mencho, the cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación, CJNG, has spread its reach across the U.S. in the past 5 years, flooding cities and small towns with huge amounts of drugs. Ruben Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, is the leader of CJNG. With a $10 million reward on his head, he's on the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration's most wanted list. What this cartel is doing is clearly affecting society in disgusting ways. Today, in this video, we are going to reveal the hurtful truth about what this cartel is doing to families. Stay tuned with us. The CJNG was created after Mexican forces killed Ignacio Coronel, a leader in the Sinaloa cartel, in July 2010. Before his death, Coronel worked with Oscar Orlando Nava Valencia, also known as El Lobo, who led the Milenio cartel. This group managed drug shipments and finances for the Sinaloa cartel, mainly in Jalisco and Colima, and later in Michoacán and Mexico City. When Coronel died, El Lobo had already been captured, and the Milenio cartel split into two factions, the Resistencia and the Torcidos, or Twisted Ones. The Resistencia accused the Torcidos of betraying El Lobo to the authorities. After Coronel's death, these factions fought for control of drug trafficking in Jalisco. The Torcidos eventually became the CJNG, taking over the Sinaloa cartel's network in the area. Nemesio Oseguera Ramos, also known as El Mencho, is the leader and founder of the CJNG. He, along with Eric Valencia and Martin Arzola Ortega, were former members of the Milenio cartel. The CJNG is known for its extreme violence. Following its rise, Jalisco saw spikes in homicides, forced disappearances, and mass graves. The cartel also targeted the Zetas drug trafficking organization in Veracruz, calling themselves Mata Zetas, or Zetas Killers. Some sources say the Mata Zetas are a special cell of the CJNG responsible for assassinations. In 2011, the Mata Zetas claimed responsibility for killing 35 people in Veracruz, and later, security forces found around 30 more bodies. In April 2015, the CJNG ambushed and killed 15 Mexican police officers in Jalisco, one of the deadliest attacks on security forces in modern Mexican history. The group also possesses military-grade weapons like machine guns and rocket-propelled grenade launchers. In May 2015, they shot down a military helicopter and launched a wave of violence in Jalisco. The CJNG has also attacked public officials. In May 2018, they tried to assassinate Luis Carlos Nayera, Jalisco's former security secretary. In June 2020, they attempted to kill Omar Garcia Harfuch, Mexico City's public security secretary. That same month, a judge in Colima, who had handled cases against cartel members, was killed along with his wife. The CJNG is also suspected of being behind the December 2020 murder of former Jalisco Governor Aristoteles Sandoval. The CJNG has tried to win over the Mexican public with idealistic propaganda, promising to protect communities from other crime syndicates like the Zetas and the Knights Templar. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they continued these altruistic actions. In June 2020, CJNG members handed out toys to children in Veracruz, where they were fighting Zetas' splinter groups. They also delivered boxes of goods to other parts of the country, including Guadalajara, Mexico's second-largest city. Despite its violent reputation, the CJNG's efforts to gain public support show how complex and multifaceted organized crime can be in Mexico. The CJNG is currently led by Nemesio Oseguera Ramos, alias El Mencho. The U.S. government has offered a reward of $10 million for information leading to his arrest, one of the highest bounties ever offered. For their part, Mexican authorities have offered a reward of 30 million pesos, about 1.6 million. The latest incident involving the powerful Jalisco cartel occurred in June, when they allegedly kidnapped and threatened the mayor of Cotija, Yolanda Sanchez Figueroa, for opposing their control over the local police. On Monday, Sanchez was killed just a day after Claudia Sheinbaum was elected as Mexico's first woman president. Her bodyguard was also killed in the attack. The Michoacan state government condemned the murder. Sanchez, elected in 2021, was shot 19 times outside a gym. Her bodyguard, Jesus Fiz, was also killed. They were attacked by gunmen in a white truck, who then escaped. Authorities have not yet given details on the murder, but said a security operation had been launched to arrest the killers. Michoacan is known for its tourist spots and agro-export industry, but is also very violent due to gangs involved in extortion and drug trafficking. Recently, there have been other violent incidents, including farmers killed by a bomb and soldiers killed by an improvised explosive device likely set by a cartel. CJNG members have followed family or friends who moved to the US to find jobs, using their connections with hard-working immigrants to exploit them. Court records show how the cartel recruits people who need money to work as drug couriers, cash couriers, or money launderers. For instance, a waitress in Lexington wanted money to pay for dental assistant courses. She started making bank deposits, not knowing they were for CJNG, as revealed in court transcripts. She got her older sister, a single mom, involved to make quick money. Now, both are in prison for money laundering, and her sister, who has 2 children in Kentucky, faces deportation. When immigrants resist the cartel's offers, CJNG often threatens them or their loved ones back in Mexico, according to court cases and law enforcement officials. For example, sheriff's investigators said a business owner in Paducah, Kentucky, who fell behind on a drug debt, was warned by the cartel, "If we don't get our money, we're gonna kill you and your family." Rosalinda Gonzalez Valencia, wife and main confidant of El Mencho, was a top financial operator for the CJNG. She, along with her brothers, founded the criminal group known as the Queenies. Despite Gonzalez's arrest in November 2021, the Queenies reportedly still handle much of the CJNG's finances and money laundering. The CJNG's longest-running ally was the Queenies, led by Abigail Gonzalez Valencia, El Mencho's brother-in-law. The exact relationship between the CJNG and the Queenies is unclear. Some reports say the Queenies are the financial arm of the CJNG, while others see them as a separate but affiliated organization. The CJNG and the Sinaloa cartel were once allies, but now they are fierce enemies across many parts of Mexico. The CJNG has even targeted top leaders of the Sinaloa cartel. In August 2016, CJNG members briefly kidnapped 2 sons of Joaquin Guzman Loera, alias El Chapo, the then leader of the Sinaloa cartel. The CJNG is also involved in various smaller local rivalries due to the fragmentation of Mexico's larger criminal groups. In Guanajuato, the CJNG has been fighting a bloody war with the Santa Rosa de Lima cartel, CSRL, formerly led by José Antonio Yepes Ortiz, alias El Maro, before his arrest in 2020. This fight is over control of oil theft in the state and has made Guanajuato the most violent state in Mexico. The CJNG now seems to have the upper hand, with the CSRL controlling only a few areas. On the Atlantic coast, the CJNG has moved into Veracruz, where it has clashed with the old-school Zetas, a splinter group of the Zetas, and a faction of the Gulf cartel known as Grupo Sombra. In April 2019, the CJNG killed 14 people in Minatitlan, a stronghold of the old-school Zetas. The CJNG has caused a lot of fear and trouble in Mexico and beyond. Led by the secretive El Mencho, this cartel shows no regard for human life, corrupting communities and destabilizing whole regions. Their influence is felt through brutal violence and sneaky infiltration. What do you think about the CJNG's impact? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more investigative content.